Well, here we are, friends. Goodness, my gracious. I love Frequency Friday, don't you? So as I'm coming live to you, I put on this fun filter because I am still getting ready and I just have a big day today. I'm sharing this with our group, Natural State Wellness. I actually got really organized and I created a group event. So let me know if you got that notification. If you got the notification, welcome. My hope and dreams is that we can raise the frequency of the planet above 200 hertz. So if you may have seen Frequency Friday last week, we talked about the frequency of the planet being right around 200 hertz on average. And that is not the extent of what the scale can go. The scale goes all the way up to, some say, 900, 1,000. And today we're talking about the frequency of the woman and PMS, menopause, every type of sacral thing going on with women, and we want to raise the frequency specifically for women because right now, there's a lot going on in the world, and you may have noticed that we women go to the bathroom together, right? We band together, right? And so when we do that, not just go to the bathroom together, but when we band together, we create a new vibe. We create a new frequency. And so the frequency of women rising is this concept that we are divine feminine goddesses in our sacral power, in our sacral chakra. And so what do I mean by that, right? And so I thought I would bring that to you because we have really been talking a lot about energy and frequencies. I don't think you guys can see it, but I'm wearing the Healy. The Healy is a frequency device, and it is a microcurrent frequency device that has been approved by the FDA for pain. So this works for menstrual pain. And so if anyone struggles with their period or backache or PMS or anything like that, you know how they say there's an app for that? Well, there's a frequency for that. And so today I'm on my phone. Normally I'm on my Chromebook, but since I'm going to work a little bit later, I'm going to be using that. So I thought I would just highlight the frequency of PMS and how we can work with our sacral chakra through frequencies, right? Because we've talked about hormone replacement before. We've talked about PMS before. We've talked about a couple other things related to women, but we've never really gotten into how to help our menstrual pain with oils, with frequency, and with all the things out there now that we have. And so I thought it would be beneficial to show you guys that there's actually a frequency, there's an app for that, right? There's a frequency for that. And the frequency for PMS can be, a bioenergetic pain support. So if you have local pain, right, the FDA approved this for local pain of as described in the instructions for use. So, there's always a disclaimer, with Healy, because you want to make sure that people know it doesn't cure disease, or, we don't work with diagnoses or anything like that. You would want to ask even your doctor about using it if you like. The only contraindication is that you can't be with a pacemaker. You can't have a pacemaker already implanted. But what you can do is talk to your doctor about Healy, talk to your psychiatrist about Healy, talk to your therapist about Healy, talk to me, your coach, about Healy, because it works for pain. So if you're having local pain, like menstrual cramps or back pain, it will work for that. And so what you do is you plug in the electrodes. So I'm going to show you guys this again because you have the holes here, right here. There's two for the electrodes. They go on and you can put them directly on your back. You can put them directly on your abdomen. You can put them wherever you're feeling pain. For example, I sprained my ankle once and I told you guys about it. And so I put it right on my ankle and it took the swelling write down. It was amazing. So if you have menstrual cramps, if you have headache, it is approved for the treatment of migraine pain. And if you get migraines with your period, or you get migraines with hormonal imbalance, even more than the pain program that they have in bioenergetic 1, which comes in the model level 2, or you can pick it with the base model, which I did for my husband. It has hormones. So like, even if you're a man and you're listening to this and you're like, well, I don't have PMS. Well, actually, men do have PMS. They have 2 cycles of PMS per month because their testosterone level fluctuates twice a month up and down. So men, this applies to you as well. So share this with your husbands as well. But it says hormones. You can do bioenergetic balance 1 for the bioenergetic support of the chemical messengers. So the chemical messengers are our hormones, and you can do that easily for 20 minutes. You can do it for 12 minutes. You can do it for 5 minutes, whatever you have time for as you wear it and drive around. You can do it while you're driving. You can do it while you're eating lunch. You can do it while you're sleeping. And so I tried that the other day, and it really worked well. I actually kept it near me when I was sleeping, and I had it running, and it worked really well. So it can still pick up your body's bioenergetic field. And so if those of you have questions about your body's bioenergetic field, we talk about chakras here, and I am certified in meditation, and so a lot of times we talk about the chakras when we meditate. And so there's another program even for PMS that I didn't know is Meridians 2. In the world of acupuncture, they follow Meridians. And so there's a separate program that if you get Meridians 2, which I know you can't see this, it's too small, but I have a guide, and Meridians 2 says hormonal balance. So hormonal balance is energetic support for balanced hormones. So for those of you who don't have bioenergetic 1, or maybe you use it and you're like, well, that was helpful, maybe you also want to try Meridians 2. So Meridians 2 is also a hormonal channel for balancing. And see, these are non-medical programs that Healy offers, and in Germany they're approved for medical use. In the UK they've approved the mental health for medical use, but only in the US they've approved the pain. So that's why I focused on the pain program first, because the pain program will work for menstrual cramps, PMS, migraines, anything like that. So if you're a woman and you suffer from migraines, or if you're a man and you have back pain, you can use the pain program, which comes with every single model. It's really, really great that they put that on every single model. And then there's also, within this, I know that a lot of you guys have fatigue with your period or with menopause. And so there's a sleep program that in the sleep program, they actually have one that says exhaustion, acute, and it also says extreme stress and fatigue. And so that might be helpful because when you're having hormone imbalance, you may also be very tired. And so I wanted to share with you guys these programs because I'm telling you what, I've been using them and it's so helpful. Personally, my own experience has been that I have had the best cycles in years. And I personally had suffered with low hormones. And so if any of you all are listening to this and you're like, I have cysts, I have endometriosis, or someone, your daughter, your mother has questions about HRT. I am a registered nurse. I have a master's degree in nursing, and so that allows me to be able to teach integrative wellness, and that allows me to make recommendations you bring to your doctor and that your doctor approves, and we work together that way. So I create wellness plans for your menopause cycle or your PMS or your upcoming hysterectomy or your upcoming surgical procedure. And that way you are able to, even alleviate heavy bleeding this way. I refer people to a hormone specialist if needed, because saliva testing is the gold standard for the 5-panel. So I would refer you to a hormone specialist in your area for a saliva test. And if you don't have one in your area because you live in a remote area, if you're like, somewhere where you're not sure, it's a big drive, then we can even order a hormone test online that's read by a doctor online, and that information is sent to you and interpreted by an MD that specializes in hormones. So there's so many options now for women. You are not alone out there. No one should have to suffer with PMS anymore. And the other caveat to this, the other really important piece about PMS is that our period, ladies, is not a curse. And this has been on my heart for the past couple months, is that our periods are gifts. And that every time we have a period, we are having an opportunity. There's an opportunity with each moon cycle. And for us to refer to our bodies as, oh, I don't even want to say it, right? Because it's so strong, that word. But if you're saying negative things about your period or your uterus or your bleeding or your fibroid, this is what many doctors in the natural health world would say is possibly contributing to the root cause of disease, is that your attitude towards your body is powerful. And women are divine beings of creativity in their sacral space. And so that means that if you work in a corporate setting, if you work with a lot of men and you are in an office and you are having to be very masculine, right? I'm not using any notes today, you guys. I'm just talking to you from my heart, because this is a frequency that I know very well. But if you are working in a corporate masculine space, then sometimes you may be out of balance personally with your divine feminine creativity. So how can we help you with that, right? And Dr. Northrup talks a lot about this in her book, Women's Bodies, Women's Wisdom. That's one of the books that I refer people to because it has chapter by chapter. I wish I had it around here. It was in my desk at my medical school that I teach, and I loaned it out to a student and they don't return it because it's so good or they forget. So what I do is I have loaned the book out at least 16 times in the past 10 years and I never get it back. And I don't care either because I'm so happy that they're keeping it. I just find it again at the thrift store, and every time I find it at Goodwill or the thrift store, I buy it again for 25 cents or 50 cents, and then I will loan it out again. And so this book is amazing. And so Dr. Northrup, if you're watching this video, you can tag Dr. Northrup. I love her so much. We are so much on the same wavelength. I would love to have an interview or a podcast with her, just putting that out there into the universe, because her and I are like talking about the same thing so many times. Another doctor is Dr. Kisha Ewers in Washington State. And Dr. Kisha has a wellness center that is just phenomenal, you guys. And you can go there. You can actually order test kits online from wherever you are. And I believe they will work with you from Washington over phone consults. So that might be something you're interested in. There's also Dr. Taylor in Fayetteville, and also Dr. Jana Evanson. And so I know personally there's resources for women that they do not have to suffer alone. They don't have to have this issue anymore where they go to their doctor and their doctor just throws generic hormones at them, that is not the right thing to do. Now, if you're on birth control or you're on HRT and it is generic, I would encourage you to speak with an MD about bioidenticals. Bioidenticals, I did a whole segment on bioidenticals and I got really heated and emotional. Well, I wasn't really that emotional, but I was really passionate. Let's just say I was passionate. And the bioidenticals have risks and benefits. And so, as an MSN RN, I can tell you that you will need the guidance of a licensed practitioner to switch over to bioidenticals, but I will help you facilitate that direction if you so choose. And so isn't that great news that there's options now? So what I wanted to read to you today here is this little book. This little book is called The Little Book of Energy Healing Techniques. So if you're into energy healing and you're like, oh, Lisa, this is amazing. Hang on, I'm just going to make sure our sound is good. Can you guys hear me? Let me know. There we go. So the energy healing techniques that we use are, in fact, easy. You can do them at home. You can do them from wherever you are. And they're all in this book. And so the color is orange. So if you're having imbalance in the sacral center, or you need more creativity, or you have a lot of menstrual cramps, then the color you're going to want to wear is orange. And so, yay, V, you found me. Yes, so I'm on my business page, I think. And so the emotional spiritual aspects of PMS is what we're talking about with our moon cycle, is control. Sometimes women break into this control aspect when they're PMSing, and they have to have like control. So if you feel that is happening, then wear orange. It will give you a better sense of control. And then creativity. So do something creative. And what's nice is the note is D on the scale. And so you go from middle C to D on the piano. So you could play anything in the major key of D or a D sharp. And so look for songs in the key of D, and you can balance your moon cycle with the key of D, D major or D sharp. The solfeggio frequency that we want to listen to is 417. So 417 is going to give you the sacral chakra, and also control, creativity, and your personal power. So V, let me know if you can hear me. I just want to make sure that people can hear me as I'm doing this, because it seems like my antenna is not all the way in. There we go. I think it is, guys. It's just so fun doing live video, isn't it? And so the other thing is, if you have addictions, so if you have addictions to anything like shopping, chocolate, alcohol, food is a huge addiction. So food addiction would mean that you would want to pay attention to your sacral balance. Bladder issues. I was speaking to somebody who has like a bladder inflammation, frequent UTIs, that kind of thing. That's all going to be your sacral chakra. Hips, any hip pain, hip fractures, anything, hip discomfort. Sexual dysfunction and your sexual organs. So this is all about balance in your sexual area, right? And then the crystals you'll want to use are these beautiful amber and brown crystals. So I have that, and it's in the shape of a heart. You can see my eyelash. I love that. And so, you can put these on your sacral area. This is carnelian, by the way. So carnelian, amber, citrine, copper, orange stones, orange calcite, peach moonstone, and smoky quartz. So this is where you want to go with that. And then, of course, I had made a post about the oils. So the oils are going to be bergamot. How many of you love Earl Grey tea? So if you love Earl Grey tea, then drink Earl Grey tea before your menstrual cycle, right? How about cedarwood? Cedarwood is very relaxing. Oh my gosh, I love cedarwood. Clary sage. Somebody posted that clary sage is one of the key elements for helping menstrual cramp pain. So do some clary sage. Of course, dilute it in some almond oil and dilute it in some olive oil if you don't have that. Geranium. You're going to smell like a health food store, right? Geranium is wonderful for menstrual cramp pain. Orange will help in the air. So you can put oranges, eat oranges. Oranges are all for lifting your mood and boosting creativity. Sandalwood. Sandalwood comes in incense, so you can even do some sandalwood incense or sandalwood candles, sandalwood soap. Wash and bathe in sandalwood. That would be amazing. Tangerine, of course, with the orange, and then lang lang, which I always used to say elang elang. So that's really it, you guys. I'm going to keep it short today. I love you. I hope that you have a wonderful Frequency Friday. If you are going through your moon cycle, or you're about ready to, or you're having hormone problems, please reach out to me. I do consults on a free basis through Zoom and Google Meet. And then the second appointment is usually at my office in Fayetteville, which is on the square in Fayetteville off Meadow Street. And so, V, let me know if you can hear me. I don't really know if my earbuds are working very well, but I love seeing people in person in my office, and I help them balance their sacral chakra so that they don't have to have menstrual cramps. They don't have to have heavy bleeding. Their fibroids can shrink when they do this work. It is true, okay? It's been documented. Now, it may not absolutely cure or heal something right away, of course, but working with your wellness feminine power is what this is about. And so to empower women to know that you as a woman have options, right? You can bathe in sandalwood soap, and you can use your little book of energy healing techniques, and you can turn to the sacral chakra area, and you can begin using crystals. You can begin using oils. Oh, good. I'm glad you can hear me, girl. That's awesome. And you can start working with these physical things, you know. And for me, it actually means that I have to go into the red tent and retreat. And I think V knows what I'm talking about, because when you retreat into the red tent, you, even if it's for 45 minutes, and you just say, I'm having a red tent moment to your family, like put a red tent around you. Imagine that orange and red colors. Just wear orange, wear red, wear, you know, these colors, and put yourself in that healing space for your body. So that's really it, you guys. I'd love to hear from you. When you watch the replay, let me know if you learned anything. Again, my name is Lisa. I am an integrative wellness coach, and I help women with their hormone balance and anxiety, and to find other options to work with your doctor or your psychiatrist or your therapist. And that way we can have fun together and find a plan that works for you. So I love you guys. I always say my truth speaks to your truth, and that means Sat Nam. And I love you, and have the best Frequency Friday. And let's go play some 417 Hertz today, shall we? So in the group and on my business page, I will post some music and some tools you can use for healing and supporting your feminine power. Love you.